There's been, and we've had a number of stocks that have done not terribly well, and actually some that have done quite well. One that's, I suppose, struggled a little bit has been Motorcycle Holdings, which is a retailer of motorcycles. It's a really fragmented industry, so it's, we think, a really attractive opportunity for a listed company in order to invest, just because they've got access to capital. But as we've seen across the board, like car sales and all vehicle sales have been really depressed. So that's one that's really struggled, but we think it's pretty much bottomed, and the market's kind of been too negative about the outlook for that industry, and we think that's going to rebound pretty well. Another one that I suppose we've had a little bit of a rocky ride with is Experience Co. So adventure tourism. They've been impacted not so much by economic events, but more sort of weather-related events. There were huge rains in Cairns and northern Queensland, and that really depressed the amount of sort of ballooning and reef cruises and like. So they had a really disappointing end to 2018. But again, they've got a new management team in, and we think the outlook for that business this year is looking really good. Some of the stocks we've done really well out of have been in the tech space, and that's been a really hot sector in the Australian market for a long time. I think the domestic market's had a lot of success stories in that space, and we have had some tailwinds through some of our investments. So we've obviously had Afterpay in the stock in our portfolio for a long period of time, actually since it listed. So that's been a dream stock that's gone from sort of like $1 to $24 over time. So that's been one that we still own and continue to do well out of. And on a similar note, there was an IPO called Split It that a number of, I suppose, viewers might have heard of. That was a stock that I've never seen anything like it. It went from a 20-cent IPO price at the end of January and was trading at $2 in the middle of March. So you tend to think we'd like a 10-bagger over 4 or 5 years. That's a great result. We saw that in sort of 8 weeks. Again, that's one we've pretty much sold out of because we've just done so well so quickly. And I suppose one other stock we really like at the moment that also seems to be performing really well is a small tech stock called Atomos, which make, I suppose, hardware for the prosumer video market. So we've seen a real kind of trend for people wanting to all become YouTube experts and want to be on video and things like that. So they provide high-end hardware for the prosumer video space. So they've done deals with like Nikon and Canon stuff for add-on equipment for those marketplaces, and they're doing incredibly well. They're looking at doing about $40 million in global sales this year. So for a fledgling Australian company, that looks a really attractive investment opportunity.